Well, we've got a couple broken insulators here on this fence. I think I figured out what kind of insulators I like, so we're gonna run up to the store and get those and replace this one, and I think we've got a couple over on the other side of the fence too. One of the fun things about these guys is once they get used to you, they'll start coming over to the fence and just visiting. Really fun to have a herd of buffalo come check you out and see if you have feed or if there's anything they want from you. Well, let's go get some parts and get this fence fixed. Well, the weather turned on me. By the time I got back from the store getting these insulators, it is overcast and it's kind of sprinkling a little bit right now, but I want to get these on, try to get all these insulators that are on the verge of breaking or breaking. That way I can sleep a little bit better at night. We'll go ahead and unplug this fence charger first. I don't want to get shocked. So here's a little education on some of the grass we have out here. This is going to be little blue stem is what they call this. Shoots up a stalk like that, and then right here is what they call turkey foot or big blue stem. They call it turkey foot because it splits off into kind of these three little shoots that looks like a turkey's foot. I have heard from at least one other buffalo producer that their buffalo don't really like blue stem, but I haven't had any issues and mine go for it just fine. I think some of it might be just what you force them to eat or what you have available to them, and they might just get used to that one thing. You know, if they have maybe a sweeter grass, they might go after that before the blue stem, but I haven't had any issues, and we've just got it covering the whole fields. If you can see here, it's really thick, and that's one of the reasons why we moved down here. We moved down here because of the prairie grass, and that is better for the bison, and they are a lot healthier that way. I'm really starting to like these insulators here. You can screw through them to a wooden post, or they will actually slide onto these T-posts. They don't have a whole lot of strength coming from the back side, but from the front side and up and down, they're really, really strong because they actually lock into one of these notches or this pin. How you doing, girl? What are you up to? Don't have any range cubes for you. That is red prairie, and then strong wind is right there. There are both sisters, I believe. They came off of Peter Cole's place, and they look very similar. Their horn shape, their head shape, everything is very, very similar. And then you've got Coyote, walking Coyote right behind him. Coyote is starting to develop those classic buffalo looks. He's got that just classic big head now and that classic pronounced hump. He's getting to be a really cool looking animal. He's got a really, really good demeanor. I really am impressed with him. I hope that he stays that way. I know when he gets a little bit older, he'll probably get a little bit more ornery. That's just kind of the way they are and the nature of them. Hopefully he breeds well. I'm a little anxious to find out if he breeds well with these girls. So far everything is looking good. He seems like, you know, like he's smelling her there. He's got that in him that he wants to breed, and we'll see if he's hopefully not shooting blanks. White feather here and black feather, they used to be very, very standoffish, and they have gotten a lot more calm and tame, which is really good. I always want my buffalo to not be just completely tame. I know a lot of you guys want to be able to see the hand feeding and things like that, but you want them to be a little bit leery of you, just because such a big animal like this, if they see you as one of the pack, and if they see you as one of the bottom end of the pack, you know, they'll start pushing you around and stuff like that. If they don't see you as one of the pack and they see you as an outsider and they're a little bit standoffish, that's actually what you want, because they can get dangerous. I would say the girls are approaching somewhere around 600 to 700 pounds now. When we first got them last spring, they were hovering right around 400 pounds. And I would say they've put on a good 200 pounds, if not more. I wasn't able to weigh Coyote when I got him from Peter. Coyote and Strong Wind and Red Prairie, I wasn't able to get weights on them, but they are growing at about the same rate as the other three that I do have weights on them. Red Prairie and Strong Wind here. I'll tell you guys, this is not something you want to do to any animals out in Yellowstone or anything like that. I know these animals very well, and these animals are just yearlings, almost calves. It is not something I would recommend anyone else doing. And I'm always thinking about my out. If something got weird, where would I go? Where would I roll to? Right then, I was on one side of the fence, and all I had to do is roll into the fence if they tried to get weird about it. So you always want to think about things like that, but it is fun interacting with them. If you can hear it, it's starting to rain a little bit heavier now. Hopefully we can get this done before we get a downpour. I am so anxious to get this field done and fenced. It's going to be a little bit before I get it done. I've got to get some oil field pipe ordered in. I either need to bring it in myself or I need to have somebody else bring it in. I haven't been able to source it quite yet. But once I get that done, then I'll start cutting oil field pipe and start working on the fence on that side. But just got a lot going on this summer. See Coyote's leading the herd. He's following us all the way around the fence. He's a good old boy. He's still following us. It's really starting to come down now. See him running. What are you guys doing? Huh? I don't know if they think I have feed or if they're just lonely. Probably just feed. I think I've told you guys this story with my last herd. I was out in the middle of the field and they weren't as friendly as these guys. They thought I had feed. I had a bucket and they all surrounded me. I had probably 18 or so around that time. All the females and bull and calves. And it was intimidating, I'll tell you that. And it was not a position I ever want to be in again. These guys are a different story though. They're pretty docile. Still want to watch out for them though. What are you doing, big boy? Can you hear White Feather back there? She's grunting. That's what these guys do. When they separate like that and one kind of gets separated out into another field and can't see the rest of the herd, or they think the herd is moving on too fast, they'll communicate by their grunting. It is starting to get cold. The flies have died down finally on them. I wanted to try some garlic on them, but I never really got around to it. I'm really not a big fan of spraying them down for anti-fly medication or anything like that. So other than that, I think they did fine. Some of these insulators weren't broken yet, but they were in a real high stress point, and I like these insulators a lot better. So I think it will prevent them from getting broken in the future. We'll see. Time will tell, but I think they'll do a lot better. I think they're gonna follow me all the way around the field. That's what I think. What are you guys gonna do? It's a little wet, cold, and miserable today, but I will take it. These autumn rains are exactly what we need on the farm. A nice drizzle grows in the ground real slow and allows it to soak in and doesn't take and run off as quick. I stop, they come over, and they watch me put insulators on. I think she thinks I've got feed in this bag. I think that's what it is. You think there's feed in there? Nope. No feed, buddy. Well, I got all the way around that front field. Some of the ones that were broken I replaced, and then some that I anticipated breaking if they had like a really sharp angle on them. I went ahead and replaced those too, so hopefully we prevented some problems in the future from happening. Tell you, I think from the way this summer has gone, my kind of assessment as to how the farm's doing is the grass is in really sorry shape where we put the animals, and that is just purely fault of my own. It's no fault of the ground or the animals. I just needed to give them more ground, and the timing wasn't quite right. So that is something I need to work on, getting the rest of the pasture fenced, and we will be doing that. But as far as the rest of it goes, these animals are doing really, really good. Their coats are really thick. They are growing in their winter coats really well, and they are putting on mass really well. You can tell they're taking in protein really, really good from that grass. So I'm impressed with the animals and their condition, but we do have some work to do when it comes to the grass and fences, but that's doable. As long as the animals are okay, we can fix the other problems, definitely. Black Feather right here, she is still hanging on to last year's coat. I don't know why. Typically they would have lost it by now, so I don't know why she's hanging on to it, but she is, and she'll lose it here pretty soon. She's already has this winter's coat coming in, so it's all good. Hey, what are you doing? That's not feed. Can't eat the insulators. Well guys, I think it's time to head in. I am pretty drenched. These guys don't mind the water, but I do. So I think we're gonna head on in and get some projects done inside. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. My name is Noah Gordon. We are Broken Arrow Bison, and we will see you next time.